Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, February 7, 2024. And welcome, my sexy people, to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am here with our resident doctor, Dr. Will. How's it going?
I am aligned and altruistic. It's feeling good.
Okay. Yeah,
I love
that.
alliteration. I love alliteration.
Right, I like that. Well, today we'll be exploring an incredible, powerful tool on our journey of self-discovery, and that's manifestation, the power of visualization. Visualization isn't just about daydreaming, but it's a profound practice that can signify impact on our ability to manifest our deepest desires and create a future that we dream. So what I want to do is I want to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about understanding visualization. We talked about that a little bit last week, but I have the doctor with me today that we can kind of tap into it in a different way, all right? Well, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back. All right, my sexy people, are you ready to be inspired and motivated to create the life of your dreams? Then mark your calendars for February 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap, we are back live and with an incredible guest. So get ready to meet Mo, the goddess, a lifestyle coach, entrepreneur, and the author of the captivating book, Permission to Power. You won't want to miss this captivating conversation as Mo, the goddess, dives deep into her personal journey, revealing the challenges she has overcome, the lessons she's learned, and the breakthroughs that transformed her life. So mark your calendars for February 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and join us live for an unforgettable episode of Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and discover the power within you to create the life that you deserve. So don't miss this opportunity to gain valuable insights from Mo, the goddess herself. Tune in to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast live on February 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You definitely don't want to miss.
Hey, it's Dr. Will with the Washington Wellness Institute. Here at the Institute, we focus on so many different things, but our biggest focus is modernizing how we take mental illness into holistic wellness and making healing a lifestyle. So if you're interested in taking the next steps, whether it's a clinician, community member, or simply just a friend, sign up today for a 15-minute consultation. You won't regret it. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And I am here with Dr. Will from Washington Wellness Institute. Are you ready for this topic, Dr. Will?
I centered myself for this because I know you ask questions. So I made sure I centered myself and I got ready for this. I got you. I'm centered right now.
What you say? You had questions, huh?
Yeah, you have questions. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a why type of person. I told
Mm-hmm.
you my middle name was Y, right?
You're why it's why Naomi Banks, right, right, and that's exactly what it is, and I'm a how, so I'm all about the how, but you the why, yeah.
All right, my sexy people. All right, today we're talking about harnessing the power of visualization by creating your ideal future. And as always, we always want to start off with a 60-second grounded breathing exercise. And that's just to relax our bodies and our minds and kind of setting the stage for today's enlightening discussion. All right. I want you to find a nice, comfortable sitting position, or whether you're lying down, I want you to close your eyes gently. And then I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you are doing that, I want you counting of 4 as you inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to hold your breath for a moment. Then I want you to exhale slowly, completely through your mouth, counting to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want you to repeat this deep breathing pattern to inhale on 4 counts, hold, and then exhale on 6 counts. Now, as you continue breathing this rhythm, I want you to focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. I want you to feel it in your chest as it rises and as it falls with every breath, releasing any tension or stress with every exhale. Now, with each inhale, I want you to imagine that you are filling your body with calmness and relaxation. I want you to let go of any distractions or any worries and allowing yourself to be fully present in the moment. Now, after a few more deep breaths, I want you to slowly open your eyes and prepare for today's topic of the power of visualization. I want you to take a moment to center yourself and feel the relaxation that comes from focusing on your breath. And with this guided breathing exercise, it sets the stage for engaging in a powerful visualization where you can harness your inner strength and create a positive mindset for the day ahead. And if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do Monday through Friday. This is a part of our self-care routine that we do. And this is just my contribution to you all to make sure you're doing something, at least one little thing, period. Period, period. All right, so this segment right now, we're talking about understanding visualization, understanding what visualization is. And visualization is more than just
Mm.
a technique, it is a transformative process that connects our desires with our reality. And today we will dive into what visualization really means and how its connection to manifestation. And we'll discuss the science behind how visualization impacts our brain, influencing our emotions and our actions. And we'll also share some inspiring examples of successful individuals who have harnessed the power of visualization and to achieve their goals in showcasing the tangible impacts of this practice. All right. All right. So for me, and I believe I shared it before, is I kind of go to what I call 5D dimensional, to where I'm using each and every one of my senses. And my hope and my intention that Dr. Will can come in later and explain what all of that is and how going from that. But first, let's talk about the understanding of what visualization is. Visualization is a mental technique that's involved imagining specific sceneries, events, outcomes in vivid detail. And this tool is powerful and is used in various fields such as sports, personal development, and goal achievement. So when you visualize, you create a detailed mental image of what you want to achieve or feel in that experience. So the connection between visualization and manifestation lies in the idea that can be consistently visualized as your goals, and your desires. So that now you can reprogram your subconscious mind to align with those goals. And this alignment can help you to stay what? Focused, what? Motivated, and take inspired actions towards your achievement of what you have to visualize. What you have to visualize. So now the science behind how visualize impact our brains and influences with our emotions and actions is rooted in our neuroscience and our psychology. So when you visualize a desired outcome, your brain often activates the same neural pathways and the regions as it would if you were actually experiencing it. That scenery. So the process is known as a mental rehearsal or mental imagery. And I'm going to share with you a story real fast. I remember going through my 5D session, is what I call it. And I remember sitting in front of my mirror. And I remember knowing what smell that I wanted to smell or feel, or the music that I wanted to hear. And I remember the very first time that I actually experienced that, there was an emotion that I felt that felt so real that when I opened my eyes and I looked in the mirror, I literally had tears that was running down my face because it
Mm.
felt so real. Like I smelled the office, I smelled the building when I came in,
Wow.
heard the music, the ambiance of everything. And it was a beautiful, overwhelming feeling of that. Did it scare me at first? Yes, because I didn't understand exactly what that was. But then in sitting in it and understanding, like, this is what this is. But as I said in our last show, is that I had to be very careful on not to do that every day and to take myself away from that and do it more on a daily thing. I know that is my, as I say, my delusional, what other people might think my delusional goal, but then I also had to bring it back down to where it's now I have to have a daily, type of ritual of a visualization in that matter of what I want to feel today. But because that feeling right there, when I say I use all five of my senses, I used all five of my senses. So when you get emotional and you can feel it in your gut or your stomach and you get,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
is what was going on. That's what I felt. I
Mm.
remember being on a beach, turning around, looking at my beach home. I can literally feel the sand like hit my cheek while I'm, standing there. And it was just so, and if you look, if I don't, y'all can't, I don't know if y'all can see me or if you can, but right now my eyes are watering because I'm there. Like as I'm speaking and talking to you right now, I'm there because I visualized that. So like I was 5D, I was in there, I was there. You couldn't tell me no different,
Mm-hmm.
period. That's how strong of a tool this can be. And I understand when it says about it, it help create or is more proactive to getting to your goals. It's proactive when you can feel it like that, when you see it like that, when you smell it like that, when you hear it like that, and when you can taste the staleness of that. You know what I
Wow.
mean? It
That's
makes it
amazing.
so real, and it makes it to where now I know I have to do all of those things to get to that goal. That's what happened for me. But then that's where I had to reel it back some and say, okay, because I cannot jump from here to that beach house right now. There are steps that I have to take for.
Wow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And all in that one moment. You did all of that in that one moment. Mm.
In that one moment. And like I said, it was an overwhelming feeling, but it's a very satisfactory feeling. And I did it. I was doing it a lot when I realized that that's something I could do, I did it a lot. But then when I found that I did it a lot, it became, and I want to be careful when I say this because it can become where it can become addictive. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that, it become addictive is that
Mm-hmm.
you constantly want that feeling over and over again.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And
Becomes nostalgia. Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. And it takes you away from reality because you constantly want to stay in there. And I'm being honest. I used to go into my golden rose room and sit down and just live in that moment. So then when I come out of that and I come out of my golden rose room, then there is reality. So then that sets in and like, well, damn, I want to go back to the beach house. Or I want to go back to that office building. You understand? And it doesn't connect you. And I'm just being real when I say this. So this visualization, it is a very powerful tool. But I want to make sure that you all are using it that's correct for you. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah, in
That's correct for
moderation.
you. That you
Yeah.
do know that you do
Mm.
know who you are and you do know what your triggers are and you do know what your addictions are because we all have that addiction in us.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
do, whether it's a validation from somebody or whatever it is. So when we give you these
Mm-hmm.
tools and we're teaching you these tools, I just want you to be reminding of those. And I'm getting ready to read something right here because even with that, when I was talking about with the with the neurotransmitters release of the chemicals and stuff right there, that dopamine is very powerful.
Mm.
And I believe, I know, ain't no belief, I know when I was in there and I was doing that, so I got to do that like once every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. That
Like
moderation is real.
seriously, because I know me and I know what my triggers are. I just know who I am and I know what things that need to work on and I know what works for me and I know what I'm aligned with right now and that works for me. That works for me.
Mm.
Now
Wow.
you looking a little puzzled right now and I wonder where's that puzzling
I
look
love
coming.
it. I love it because I have so many questions about it. I'm fascinated. I'm honestly
Mhm,
fascinated by your story and fascinated by how you even processed it because you know it's hard to come by great things when it comes from you, right? When you finally something has something that's great that's coming from you, and then being told to moderate it or to limit it,
mhm.
you know, it's not rejection, but it's this awareness of your own power and not to be consumed by your own power.
Yes.
That's big. That's
Yeah.
big, Naomi.
And that was another message that I got, like I told you that I got the other day, was that was a part of it. So I do tarot cards. And the card
Okay.
came up and it was a devil card. And with that devil card, it shows is that you have a choice and it will give you a choice on what you take and what you take and what you able to, breathe in. And one of the things is that you have the world at your hand and you have every opportunity to be able to do any and everything that you can. But if you take it all in too much, you will become addicted to these different vices, to wherever they
Mm,
are. So even before asking for a lot of things that we ask for, we have to make sure that we are prepared to receive them in a healthy way, if that makes sense.
mm, yeah,
So I
yeah,
remember you saying last week about, a lot of your clients are celebrities and stuff like that, and they still go through some of the hardest of things, no matter how much money or how much success that they have. If they haven't healed the
mhm,
core of their being, it doesn't matter how much money or how much love or how many fans that they have, that's still an empty part of them, that they don't know
yes,
where they are at or who they are. So even going into this visualization thing, we have to make sure that that core is full, that we
Mm,
understanding of what we have to do. So I'm probably about to change this up in the
yeah,
middle of this show. Instead of us going to the big, how can we do this on
yeah,
a daily? How can we do it like, let's focus on what we going
yeah,
to do today on
yeah.
this Wednesday? Like, what are your
Mm,
visualization for today? How do I want to my life for the day to experience? How I want to feel? How do I want to make others feel that is in my circle before I lay down and go to bed? I just did that in the middle of the show. My fault.
mm.
Sorry.
No, I just think about how like the more power you get without that core, power without core, you learn powerlessness,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
right? So you need that core. And a
We
lot
do.
of us never took the time to understand what our core is because we're so focused on using our power that we never understood our core.
Yeah.
And then you don't learn your core until everything falls. And you have that tower
Mm-hmm.
moment, right? That tower moment we talk about in spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so vital. And I think people really need to understand what is a core to a power, right? A visualization is the ideology of what the power is, what the power can do. But without core, you'll never be able to see it through.
No.
Mm,
No.
yeah.
No. And at that moment, as I was just sitting here talking, I was like, wait a minute. I cannot speak to them about having that big old visualization and everything like that. That's just too much. That's too much in one
Mm,
sitting. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just too much knowing really what I experienced and understanding how I had to readjust it.
Yes.
Readjust it.
Hmm.
And the thing is that we're going to continue to readjust it as we continue to grow, as we continue
Mm,
to find who our true core is. Because even though I have those 9 now, no telling next week, a month from now, or a year from now, they might change. I might add on some, or some might go away completely.
yes. And
Not
I
that
and
I'm
I hate to say this,
preparing for
but
it.
that but I mean, but even with what you just said though, I mean, a lot of us we don't have visualizations. We live in the idealization of what should be. We have the ideal of what should be. We have the ideal of what we want. We have the ideal of how we should be treated. We have the idea, but we never actually visualize ourselves unlimited, right? We never visualize the unlimited capacity that we actually have within ourselves.
Mhm,
And you don't understand the course cannot awaken without you tapping into that. So then when you're trying to live these ideals, you're actually relying off of validation, reward, compliments, favor, right? It's not even about who you are at this point. You're just externally reaching out, and it becomes almost a survival when you're living ideal. But
mhm,
visualization, everything you need is right here in this
mhm.
moment. So I appreciate how sensitive you are with your words right now. I just appreciate the wordsmithing you have in that.
I have to. Words are powerful. Words are magic.
Hmm.
Now that I know better, I do better.
Yes.
Now that I know better, I do better. Yeah.
I love that. That's so great. That is so great. Yeah, I love
Yes.
that.
Now that I know better, I do better. You remember back in the old school? They say, you know better,
Hmm.
you do better. And then you be
Hmm.
telling, put a mirror in front of their face and say, are you listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth?
I changed that phrase. So I changed that phrase. I love that phrase, but then I had to think about it, and I was like, but I still don't do better sometimes. So I have to live better. So if I know better,
Mhm,
I gotta live better because sometimes I don't do it right. So I had to. So sometimes I gotta live better too. So if you use that know better, you're not doing better. Try and live better, so then you'll actually be more willing to do better. Because sometimes I
mm,
miss that step in the middle to actually live better because I didn't actually understand how to live the doing. Because a lot of us don't know how to live the doing. So
yeah.
I be messing up. So
That's a true statement. That's a true statement. Like I'm gonna do, but like, dang, okay, I'm gonna do it, but how do I live through
Mhm.
to do it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That always inspires me, yeah. It's
All right,
humbling.
so you know what? Another thing that visualization can do, what helped me, it did, is reduce my stress and anxiety. So by shifting my focus from negative thoughts to positive outcomes, you know, when you constantly engage in positive visualization, you train your brain to respond to a more optimistic things, challenges, and setbacks. So remember what I said about my big delusional thing? And I know how I was. For me, I had to bring it back and to do it on a more daily, for me, daily aspect of it to how I want to feel today, on what goals or what things that I have to do today, instead of thinking about what I need to do 2 weeks from
Mm,
now or Monday or like that. For me, I had to break it down like that. Not that I'm slow, but that I understand that my goal is bigger. There's a bigger picture in hand. But also, I had to be
mm,
very careful to understand the power in my platform. So, for me to be able to speak on a platform like this and me going and doing the work, I had to make sure that my words are intentional, but also my actions are intentional. And when I
mm,
speak, that is coming from an authentic, genuine place, and that is not for play. That, as I said before, excuse me, that this is the most nakedness and rawness that a person that you can ever see a person.
mm.
And that's what I'm
Yeah,
doing at this time. Excuse me, my nose is just running
yeah.
at this time.
They're fine.
You understand what I'm saying? And so even before you came on, Dr. Will, every morning when I used to do this, I used to be very drained after this show because I will put it
Mm,
all out there. You understand?
yeah.
And put it all out there because I know the need that this world need healing. And I
Mm.
know that, and no knockoff of you as being a psychologist or a therapist or
No,
anything
of
like
course.
that.
Of course.
But a lot of times you have professionals that not able to relate to people on an emotional, or you know what I'm saying, or in a
Yes.
human level as that, because they've been taught to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If this don't go
Hmm.
by this, because I'm not going to
Right.
tell my story because that's unprofessional if I tell my story. But
Right.
sometimes people need that human reaction, that human relate to them.
Yes.
Never once am I saying don't go to a therapist. Yes, go to a therapist, but also there are tools that you need to be able where you can aid that whatever they have to say and
Yes.
bring it into
Yes.
a human way, you know, with more empathy, compassion, and not only
Yeah.
for others but for yourself, because you can't do it for nobody if you don't do it for yourself. Yeah,
Yes. And I think many times that's the reason why I even created my own model. That's the reason why I created restorative enhancement modality is because I was not okay with what I learned. I was not relatable with what I learned. And my story is the reason why I became a health psychologist.
mm,
So it would be dishonoring of me not to be able to tell my story
yeah,
fully and understand that I am a work in progress, just like you. The only
mhm,
difference is that I just read more books, or probably maybe not read more books, right? It's the fact that I just took the time to go through an institution, right? And a lot of times when you go through these institutions, you actually depersonalize or disconnect from yourself to be what they need you to be. And then you have to relearn how to heal once you get through it.
yeah,
So it's a very difficult process to shield yourself to get through this and then unsheath yourself to make sure you can be relatable again. Because the
yeah,
true intelligence, the true intellect is relatable.
yeah,
That's where it is. The truest
yeah,
intellect is relatable. They can translate themselves to be relatable. Whether I'm in front of millionaires, celebrities, or I'm with the homie down the street, am I relatable?
yeah,
And that's what life is all about.
yeah. All right, give me some tissue.
I love the fact that I think the biggest thing is living with your wound, right? Lead with your wound and heal. If
Mm-hmm.
if people are afraid to lead with their wound, which is why it's so important to have that power of visualization,
Yeah.
because we don't even think how we have power leading with a wound. What's going to happen to me if I lead with my wound? Visualize the experience. Put yourself there and recognize that before I can even go from negative to positive, you have to go negative to possibility before you get positive. You have to go negative to possibility to positive. NPP, right? Because the truth is that our positivity is the light that we're afraid to show of ourselves. So we have to change and create the option to shine. And when you choose the option to shine, you don't have to give everything anymore. You give what's needed, not what they wanted, but what's needed. And that's a boundary that we grow with our with our healing in that holistic sense of mind.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I love that negativity to possibility to positivity. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's a note. That's something. Y'all hear that? Negativity,
Purpose
positivity. I mean, to possibilities, to positivity. NPP. NPP. I like that. I do. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break and then we come back. And then when we come back, we'll talk about the techniques and effective of visualization. So we'll get more in hand of what it is. All right. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast. Are you ready to kickstart your journey to a healthier, more fulfilling life? Introducing Good Morning, My Sexy People, 90 Days to Kick Off Your Healing Living Journal by Nyomi Banks. This transformative journal is your personal guide to achieving physical, mental, and emotional well-being. With its easy-to-follow prompts and powerful exercises, you'll embark on a 90-day healing journey like no other. Each morning, as you open the pages of this journal, you'll discover thought-provoking questions, uplifting affirmations, and space to reflect on your progress. It's your secret weapon to breaking free from old patterns and embracing a healthier, sexier you. Say goodbye to self-doubt and hello to self-love. Good Morning, My Sexy People will empower you to make positive changes every single day. You'll develop healthy habits, cultivate gratitude, and unlock your true potential. Whether you're seeking to improve your fitness, boost your confidence, or find inner peace, this journal is your trusted companion. It's the support system you need to stay motivated, focused, and inspired throughout your journey. Don't wait another day to start living your best life. Good Morning, My Sexy People, 90 Days to Kick Off. Your Healing Living Journal by Nyomi Banks is available now on Amazon. Grab your copy today and begin your transformation. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself, set your intentions, and unleash the sexy, vibrant person within. Get your copy of Good Morning, My Sexy People today, and let the healing begin.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. Today, we're talking about harnessing the power of visualization and creating your ideal future. All right, so what happened is that I kind of like changed it up a little bit.
You changed it up? No, not
I kind of
you.
changed it up a little bit in what I feel we should be talking about today. Yes, we talk about visualization, but I want to kind of bring it back just a little bit to where we, and I want to make sure that I'm using the correct words when I say that we kind of, we go steps with it, that we do steps from it. So even though I had a list of techniques and stuff like that to approaching of it, Let's start off with setting clear on what we want to, um, how we want to start it. You understand? So a lot of
Mhm.
times we use what the vision boards, um, and all of those other different methods of visualizing things. But one thing is that we have to make sure that we're setting clear intentions of goals, of what we want to do and how we want to embark on our visualization journey. So it's like, let's talk about today. What's today, Wednesday? So it's like,
I
what do
think
you
it is.
want to
Yeah.
happen today? Today, Wednesday. It's like, what do you want to happen today? And I'm not sure if you are listening to this Wednesday morning, afternoon, or evening, or even if you listen on whatever day it is. And my prayer is that you are listening it in the morning, or even if you're listening at nighttime before you go to bed. Then this can prepare you for when you wake up the next morning. And you can say, okay, what I
Mhm.
want to feel like tomorrow. I know I want to feel different than what I felt yesterday. And I don't even know what to feel like tomorrow because I'm not even there. So how about visualizing on what my day is gonna look like today? I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna take me a shower, I'm gonna do my affirmations, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. What feelings that when I'm driving in a car, what does that look like? What does that feel like? When I walk into my office, what does that feel like? What energy do I want to give off? What energy am I ready to receive? It's kind of like, even for me, going into, and I love my room, and I wish my whole house can be this room, is my golden rose room. And I created my golden rose room after my middle baby went off to college. So I transformed her whole room into my golden rose room. So it's a pink and gold room. So where I have my altars in there, and I have, smell, my pink chair, so everything is,
Mm.
and it's nothing but peace. Nothing but peace. I can go in there and sit in there for hours and hours and hours and hours. But when I come out of there, there's another different environment. So, but
Mm.
when you go into wherever your space is, go into that visual space and say, how do I want my day to go? How do I want to be able to react to my loved ones, whether it's your husband, wife, your children, even sending them out, even when you're sending them away at school? Prepare yourself for that. Prepare yourself on how you want to when you pick them up in school. You understand? It's like when we visualize and we bring that energy to ourselves, how powerful it is to allow our energy to project on others. That's what we don't understand. That's what we don't understand.
Mm.
And I'm going to be very honest, when I start to understand how powerful that my energy can be to others, a lot of times I lead off with, I want to start off and say I apologize because somewhere, somehow I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I just could not get it right. So please forgive me if I,
Mm.
say something or whatever, because
Yeah.
remember, we are not perfect. We are not perfect. So even though I'm telling you to go find that space, whatever, sometimes it might be
Your space
that
might
day.
be the bathroom.
Yeah,
Your space might be the bathroom. It might
yeah,
be before you get in the shower, turn on the water, and you don't get into the shower until you feel steam.
yeah,
So then you know when there's steam, that means you're supposed to get in. So before you sense that fog and you sense that steam, that's your prayer time. That's your meditation time. That's your intention time. That's your affirmation time. And you sit there, like, you have to make it work for you.
yeah,
You do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm because right now I'm strictly going from the dome. I'm strictly going from the dome because I have my
Love
script
it.
right here, and I'm like, I cannot do this.
No, I'm glad that you hear, feel, and see something more of you that needs to be present.
Hmm.
Because a lot of us, like, that we feel stuck, like we have to follow the script of our lives. And you don't have to follow the script. You are enough in this. And
Yeah.
I'm here with you, and I'm sharing that with you and aligned with you. And
Hmm.
and I think it's so important that you even just say that. The fact that you even said, this is what was expected of me, but I'm going to do this.
Hmm.
How many of us have denied ourselves the moment to do that and just went through it? And then once you're done talking, you're going to feel more exhausted because you went
Hmm.
outside of your comfort, you went outside of your power, you went outside of your own restraints, right? and you didn't allow yourself to flourish in who you are and what you need. So my question for you is, what do you need? What do you want? What do you want people to listen to? Because I'm right behind you.
What do I want? Like, oh, we just flipped the script real
Yeah.
fast, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm here with you. Yeah.
Let me say what I want. As a
Mhm.
little girl, I've always said that I wanted to change the world. I wanted to
Me
change
too.
the world. And I remember my mama telling me, girl, you cannot change the world. The world is already, that's what she said. You cannot change the world. The world is what it is, and that is what it is. But me, no, I'm going to change this world somewhere, somehow. Somewhere, somehow, I am going to change this world. That was my thing.
Wow.
And I remember, and when I say this is because I used to have people as a little girl, teenager, come to me and ask for my advice and tell me their story. I was literally Dear Abby in high school. Everybody come to me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'll just be talking and telling them, giving them advice and everything, and never understood what that was. But that was a part of my purpose. So I've always lived in my purpose. I've
Mm.
always have. I just
Wow.
didn't recognize what that was. And
Yeah.
even me, doing my major in college and stuff. I wanted to do acting and singing and dancing. I wanted to do all of those things. And it
Mm-hmm.
kept like, no, you need to be going this way. And I fought it. I didn't want that, to go. But now that I've been on those sets with those different spirits
Mm-hmm.
and souls, and I've been in many aspects. When I say that I've done damn near everything in
Mm-hmm.
life. And that made me truly want to help heal the world. That I understood that we were put on
Mm.
this earth to serve one another.
You saw the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember going to Italy, and I remember being there in Italy with a friend of mine, and I was so mad. It was a beautiful country, beautiful countryside. And you know what I was mad at? I was mad at that I saw their heritage. I saw their heritage in the cobble ground. I saw their
Mm.
heritage when I looked out to that ocean, that water. I saw their
Mm.
heritage in the buildings that was built, in the churches and the cathedrals that I went in. And I didn't have that for myself. You understand? And
You're
when
making
you
me tear up
see, when
right
you can
now.
go to different countries and you live in your own country, America, and you've been born and raised here, and you still don't see your identity here. That's a blow.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a blow. So when I chose to leave the industry in the form of being an adult or feeling like that, but I knew that my voice wasn't, that I wasn't
Mm.
done yet. I knew that I wasn't. And I knew that the people that I met in the industry, these are some beautiful people with hearts. Oh my God. Oh
Yes.
my God. And my first initial was for them to be able to tell their story so people can see them
Mm.
or as human beings, but of their spirit, of their soul being so real and honest. And that they are
Yes.
not just people that are, excuse me, fucking on camera.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then that was just my limited of what I thought. But God
Mm-hmm.
showed me something totally different. He
Right.
said, no, put yourself out there. And I don't want you to use your legal name. I want you to use Naomi Banks. And you know
Yeah.
why? He said, because I want people to see you as that, but I want them to change the perspective of what they think it is.
You're changing the narrative. You're
Yes,
taking your narrative back. You're taking your story back.
yes, yes.
Wow.
It's another thing that I live by. Ever since I was a little girl, don't judge a book by its cover. Take the time to read the pages in between the book.
Mm. The devil's in the detail, and we just skip over so much. We skip over so much of people's lives. We skip out so many people's stories. Mm.
Yes. So literally, honestly, this is just coming all full circle.
Yes, it is.
All full circle. Just
Your
all
ideal,
full circle.
your ideal future has a prolific past. Your ideal future has a prolific past, and I'm telling you, the past, that little girl that you grew in, she's looking at you, seeing you, telling her story in your way. You're speaking for that little girl, and you are becoming the why that she would always ask for.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the greatest gifts. And to just sit here and just to be a witness to you, that does something for my heart and my spirit. Because the little boy in me that never understood, how could people treat me this way? How could people not see me? How could people look over me? How could people underestimate me? Right? And
Mm-hmm.
just to hear your story lets me have a chance to be seen,
Yeah.
lets me have a chance to be known.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, Naomi.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And you know, it's so often that, you know, that saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
How can we say hurt people? Let's heal each other.
No, I actually have a phrase for that. It said hurt people, but healed people help people.
I like that. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. You know, and you know, when with just being out there like this, you know, of course I have tons of negativity that comes, you know, people reminding me, where they think that they're reminding me of who they think I am. Like, no, I've done all of those things. Yes, I did. And I'm not trying to shy away from any of that, but I've turned the page and I'm in another chapter. Matter of fact, I'm in a whole nother book. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
a whole nother book. So either you come in and you start to read this book with me, better yet, be a part of this book with me. Be one of the characters in
Mm.
my book with me.
Yes.
Because not only
Yes.
am you a character in my book, I'm a character
Mm-hmm.
in your book. And that will help others to create to where we are positive characters in each other's book to
But
help
take that
this
even a
world
step
heal.
further
You
back.
understand?
But take that even a step back. A lot of them, they're afraid to read their own pages.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Come on now. Because you said it. I'm just following what
Mhm.
you said. They are afraid to read their own pages because they never learned how to read themselves, because they were never taught about learning themselves. They were never taught about asking for themselves. They don't want to even accept their past.
Yeah.
And so it's easier to talk about yours because they never wanted to accept it because they're afraid of whoever else is going to say something about theirs. It's real.
Hmm.
And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And it just doesn't stop until you say, I am who I will be. I am who I will
Hmm.
be.
I am who I will be. Hmm.
And that is a life affirmation. And a lot of us are denied that. And so the fact that you can say, I got a whole new book, write your character in, you're letting me write the character you're trying to be in this book. It's not going to be the same way. Are you sure you want this to be the story? You sure want this to be? You sure you want yourself to be the character in the story? You sure? Because once it's in here, it's in there. And I'm telling you, I got the pen this time. I got the pen this time. I'm not letting you have that power. I'm not
I
letting
know
you
that's
take away my
right.
possibilities. I'm not letting you take away my positivity. I'm not letting you take my possibilities away from me. I won't let you. I can't let you. I
I
didn't
know
let.
that's right.
Just that's a real thing. That's a real
Yes.
thing. And
Yes.
as a black man, it's just talking about when you see the history and just the amount of denial black men are given, the amount of denial that this healing that black men are just taken away from. And then they're asked to be okay and to be this image of actually white supremacy. It, that's mental illness.
Hmm.
You're telling me to be a black man, but you want me to look like a white man. Why are you trying to make me choose? Why are you trying to make me choose?
Mm,
Why is it that my hair takes away my credibility? How are
mm,
you going to tell me coming in, oh, you don't look professional enough? I spent $400,000 to call myself Dr. Will, and you're telling me I'm not professional enough. And I tell them, oh, I'm sorry, you cost too much. I tell them, you cost too much to work with. What do you mean?
mm.
I'm like, the peace of mind that you're going to cost me
Mm.
is not worth my $400,000.
I know that's right. Ooh.
Sorry. Let's find another therapist. Trust me, you'll be okay with them. Obviously, your
Mm.
healing wasn't that important enough to look past what I look like.
Right.
So the perception and the envy precipitates the jealousy. Envy precipitates the jealousy. And there's so many people that are envious that you got to live and choose. You lived, you survived, lived, and chose. A lot of people are still surviving. They're afraid to live, and they
Yeah.
never thought that they could even choose. So you're a
Yeah.
testament to living. You're a walking testament in that itself. It's amazing.
All right, we got some questions. We just be getting so deep in here, but we have to. We have to. If y'all notice, I like to get deep, but also I like to find light in a lot of things. You understand?
Yeah.
I like to find light because laughter is truly a part of our soul. I love that is man.
Mm.
It really is. And so even saying this and what I'm going through at this moment at this time is I literally almost blocked a blessing
Mm.
because I almost allowed my ego to get in the way of not reciprocating your email to me that second time. You understand
Oh.
what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
we just got to be real about this, is because I knew at that moment, okay, you've now prayed, you now ask, and you keep saying that you are ready to receive. So even in your visualization, this is what you ask for. And we're sending you somebody, and you keep jumping in the way because you want things to happen how you want them to happen. And
Mm.
it don't happen that way.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I had to come back and peel back. And I had
Mm-hmm.
to look at the bigger picture. Because yes, I'm sitting here with my pretty self on here, but also I need another voice in here that can relate to somebody in a whole different type of way. That on
Mm.
this platform that we can be bilingual in what we're speaking. And I'm not talking about speaking
Yes.
Spanish, that. I'm not talking about in that type of language.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about in a language that I speak as Nyomi and Dr. Will as speak as Dr. Will, but not only as Dr. Will, but as Will as a Black man.
Yes.
That's not only is a doctor,
A
but
proud
he's
Black
used
man.
his experience to become a doctor. So he's able to help people better to come out of what he experienced as a child.
I needed this for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't think I needed this for myself. I was supposed to be a dentist. So people don't even
Mm.
realize. So I literally I failed to my success.
Mm-hmm.
So my truth came out through my failures, not through my successes. And people think that, oh, you just get the hair, you're cute looking, you got a nose. Like no, like there was a whole life that I went through to be like, oh, this is what you needed me to do.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the way that it's like I tell you, it took me 10 years to get to this place. So, and the beautiful thing is that people think I just showed up and now I'm just on the show. No, like it took me 10 years to get to this space. It took me 10 years to be able to sit in front of you. And because the truth is what you visualized, I visualized.
Mm-hmm.
I visualized 2024 being my way of showing people who I am. And I met one of the most rawest, genuine souls. I didn't ask for to have amenities and these things. What I asked for was for your voice and your words and your time and your attention, because the truth is that is worth more than anything. I can't get another Naomi. I can't get another one of you. So this is a beautiful moment to have.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. And I know my listeners, I know our listeners, I know they hear this. I know they hear this. And if they didn't hear it today, 5 years from now, there's going to be a new ear that's going to come and they're going to listen to this and they're going to react to this when it's needed. So if anything
Mm,
that comes out of this whole connection right here, and even with social media and this technology, is that these words and this experience right here will last on forever.
Yes.
Forever. So even before we even sat down here, that was my intention. What do I want us to feel? What experience do I want people to feel when they are listening into or seeing the Season of
Yes.
Self-Love podcast? I'm all about experiencing an experience. From the moments I did my parties and stuff like that, it's an experience. When people come to my house, I set down a nice little spread, because when you come in from the front door going through the middle to the back, there's a transformation. There's an experience that is happening unbeknownst to them. But when you leave from there, you might come there with some bullshit on your mind and everything like that. But when you walk through my door, you go through it, and you go
Yes.
through the backyard and you sit there, you're like, God damn, Naomi, I don't want to go. Oh, you got to go, but I want you, whatever you are got when you coming through these doors, you make sure
Yes.
you look at all of those positive words of affirmation going out the door. As you come in the door, there's
Yes.
different positive words that I have. As
It's
you walk
beautiful.
out the door, it's words of positive that's walking out the door,
I
period.
love that.
And I
I
knew
love that.
though that is experiences that I want people to have when you come in connection with me. You know why?
Yes.
It's because I want to have that connection. I want to have that experience when I'm
Yes.
connected with somebody. So the only way that I'm able to get that back is that, all right, let me start putting some tools out there. Let me start putting out some work out there for them to be able to
Yes.
do. So as I'm learning and I'm doing my research, I'm sharing it.
Yes.
And even if you see at this moment in time, I want to talk about visualization on how we're going to go. And it's like, stop. Let's pull this back some. Let's break it all the way down. And I had said this in the
Yes.
beginning of the year. We bringing it all the way down. We breaking good.
Yes.
We just butt naked up in this piece, and we just breaking it
Yes.
all down because we have to know the why.
We have to
And
know
in
the
knowing
why.
the why, Dr. Will gonna show us how.
I love it. I love it. And I gotta say, this is still a part of the visualization. This is when alignment occurs in visualization, right? The reason why we keep visualizing because we don't actually align ourselves to the core and then make the product. So what we did was just align. We aligned our cores, and then we chose. We chose how because of the why. So this is just a full circle, and it's very much about harnessing the power of visualization, because this is the product of that. We are products of our visualizations. And you find like minds, you find the right people, because the truth is that when you find people that you're not aligned with, it never really happens. You just become eager, and you become ideology, and you just, ideally these things should work. No, visualization, it happens because it's aligned in purpose, not motive.
Yeah.
This is purposed living. This is what happens when people with purpose come together. This is what that product is. So you named it. You named it. We just had to show how.
Yeah. Show up and show out. Show
Out.
up
And
and
show
show
out.
out.
I love it.
Show up and show out. All right, this is what I'll do. I want to take a quick break, and then I want to come back because I do have some questions for you.
Okay.
And I want to, come from a point of where I'm a listener, and that I want, some questions on visualization, on how to bring that into my life. That's one thing that I do want to kind of stay on course with, because there are a lot of people out there that have questions, and, on how do we do that? Even in preparing me for even speaking to another therapist, what kind of questions that do I need to ask? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. We will be right back.
Hey, it's Dr. Will with the Washington Wellness Institute. Here at the Institute, we focus on so many different things, but our biggest focus is modernizing how we take mental illness into holistic wellness and making healing a lifestyle. So if you're interested in taking the next steps, whether it's a clinician, community member, or simply just a friend, sign up today for a 15-minute consultation. You won't regret it. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi&x, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Naomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Naomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Naomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
All right, my sexy people, are you ready to be inspired and motivated to create the life of your dreams? Then mark your calendars for February 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap, we are back live and with an incredible guest. So get ready to meet Mo, the goddess, a lifestyle coach, entrepreneur, and the author of the captivating book, Permission to Power. You won't want to miss this captivating conversation as Mo, the goddess, dives deep into her personal journey, revealing the challenges she has overcome, the lessons she's learned, and the breakthroughs that transformed her life. So mark your calendars for February 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and join us live for an unforgettable episode of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and discover the power within you to create the life that you deserve. So don't miss this opportunity to gain valuable insights from Mo, the goddess herself. Tune in to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast live on February 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You definitely don't want to miss. All right, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess Naomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am here with our resident expert, Dr. Will, and we are talking about harnessing the power of visualization and creating your own ideal future. We kind of went off on a little road. Not really. We still was talking about the power of harnessing the visualization. We just kind of broke it down, like really kind of went down to the bone, took the mix and off and went straight to the
pulled pork. It was pulled pork. It was pulled pork.
What did you say? It was pulled pork.
We were pulling.
I just want to make sure that everybody getting all the flavors that is needed.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All the flavors that is
I like
needed.
that. See, I appreciate that. See, alley-oop, you just dunked it. See, that's what I'm saying. Let's go. You better dunk. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, I play power forward, right?
Yeah.
I had a little hops. I had some hops back then. I don't know what they're going to do today, but I had some hops back then.
I love that. Oh, man, that's great.
Well, right now, we want to, and I'm not going to say the hot seat, but I want to truly be able to help a lot of you listeners out that don't even know what the questions to ask when you're sitting in front of your therapist and you wanted to know about the power of visualization. But not only that, but also I want our expert, Dr. Will, to be able to better help you not only realize the questions too, but also on how to do with different techniques, whether it's holistic or just straight therapy with it, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the most common questions that they have is, how often should a person practice visualization to seek positive results?
So I consider this almost like working out, right? You don't go to the gym and then go bench press 360 pounds. Start light. Give yourself a timer. So I can't tell you how deep to go, right? Because that's the power that you have within you. I can't control that. What we can control is time. So start out with a 2-minute visualization. And then every other day, not every day, but every other day, add another 30 seconds. And allow yourself to learn the comfort of being still so you can sit inside yourself. We have to learn how to do that again because we've not been taught to sit in ourselves. So for me, it's the timer. Start at 2 minutes every other day. add 30 seconds.
That's a good one. All right, here's another question. Can you guide me through a personalized visualization or exercise tailored to my needs?
Yes, completely. And it goes so well. And what I do is to hold accountability afterwards. I ask you to journal your thoughts of the effect of what it did afterwards. Because when you're guided, you're living in someone else's movement and not your own. So it's important to make sure you process after. So I highly recommend getting your purpose paper and purpose pen and writing out the processing of what happened.
And what are the best ways to enhance the effectiveness of a visualization practice?
This is a hard one. But if you just trust my words with what I'm going to say, write out what your wound is. Sit and look at it. So you put it on paper and you visualize it and you put it out and you look at it and you think about all the things that come from that. And once you think you have enough, close your eyes and then sit. Sit as like you're going scuba diving, like when you're sitting over a boat. Now you like sit back,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like imagine yourself actually falling into that
Mm,
and seeing everything from a different perspective. Because a lot of times in life, we see things coming at us.
yeah.
And so it's changing the way we sit actually can help us process what's actually going on. So maybe you start out sitting and while you're looking at the words. And then when you finally feel comfortable with getting everything out, what those words give you, actually lay down and then kind of put them on the ceiling as you close your eyes.
Mm,
So change the perspective of how you see that thing.
how you see it. All right.
Mm.
Thank you for that one. All right. So these questions are more concerned with the mind and the body connection. So how can visualization help a person to improve with their mental well-being and reduce stress?
Yes, a lot of times when you take this time out, a lot of times when trauma happens, you dissociate, you detach from the mind and the heart, right? And your body goes into a survival mechanism. And so it's important when you actually have visualizations and you're sitting out with the mind and body, is understanding what is my mind telling me and what is my heart telling me? Or what is my mind telling me, but my heart's not telling me? What is my heart not telling me and my mind is telling me? If you can only focus on one, then that means that there's a lie or a delusion or a disbelief or a limited thought or a negative cognition thinking pattern that's happening. Someone that is aligned should be able to feel mind and heart at the same time and be aligned with each other. So if you feel a disconnect, it means that there's some type of pattern or delusion that's not correct. And so one had to shut off for the other to exist.
Mm.
So there's an imbalance somewhere, and you have to search within that.
All right. So now that you spoke of that, so what are some specific visualization techniques that can help support that with that physical
Yeah.
health and aid in healing with that?
Yeah. It's three things. One, slow down. A lot of times we don't slow down. How do you slow down? Breath. I always ask my friends, did you breathe today? Right? Did you breathe today? Did you drink water today? Did you sleep enough? Are you hungry? Before we can even get anywhere, I need to know you did your basic needs. Did you use the restroom? A lot of times people forget how to exist.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we have to break it down to those simple things, because if you don't take care of those, you cannot enter a meditative state thinking you're okay. This is why when they do the detox, when they do like the 30-day fasting, and they don't eat till after 1 o'clock, and it's like, well, I'm so hungry, I'm angry, I'm hangry, and all this stuff. I'm like, the point of that is to disrupt your normal saturation, right? And I always talk about you have to reset, reset, remove every saturation, embrace truth.
Mm,
Remove the saturation, embrace the truth. I'm angry. It's not because you're hungry. It's because you were living a life that was gluttonous. And so now your body's used to you over consuming sugars and processing and all these things. And your body's trying to learn how to live without it. Your body's fighting survival right now. It thinks it has to survive. So like that's the damage that you've done to your body. That's why it's so important to meditate during that time. So you can be in tune with your body.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are so distracted in our bodies. We can't achieve our climaxes. We can't.
That's beautiful. You're going to have to send me that reset, that breakdown of reset.
I got you. I
I,
got you.
I love that.
I made a whole deck about it. So you can buy a
Oh,
whole deck. Yeah. So I usually give to my clients, and you can have the picture, and then on the back are all my words about describing how to go through it. And so it teaches intrapersonal language. It teaches you how to speak within yourself, not with other people, but within yourself. So
beautiful. So let me ask you
yeah.
this. Do
Mhm.
you have that to where our listeners can be able to grab a
Yeah.
deck of that?
Oh yeah, yeah. They can just go onto the website and they can just buy a copy and they'll send it to them. You get a nice little box.
See,
And then and if you do it, I actually give you a free 15-minute session with it to teach you how to go through it. So you get a free 15-minute with me to learn how to go through it. But the instructions are on here too. But it's always nice when like, I might give you some little inside tips about it. So there's
all right,
different
see,
ways
I
to do
like that. I like that. So this is where, so this is go to my next question is that can visualization complement other holistic practices, that you're currently incorporating as meditation and yoga?
it.
So do you get
Ooh.
ready to go
Hmm.
ahead, speak, my brother.
Oh yeah. So I love the visualizations because
Mhm.
in my model, restorative enhancement modality, REM, you actually learn how to make your physical health, your emotional health, your social health, your family health, your environmental health, your educational health, all those things. You get to actually have them as a lifestyle. So the moment you start visualizing, you should be hitting all those. Everything matters. So if you miss out on one of those modalities, you're missing out on yourself. And so people that enter that true visualization, they're so sensitive about where they are, who they are, why they are, how they are, that they're going to understand that they don't have to do more for other people.
Yeah.
They don't have to extend themselves. They can be givers and they don't have to enable, right? And so a lot of times givers are afraid to enable. So a lot of times that visualization emotionally preps you so that you can respond and not react. It teaches you that your unmet needs are a result of irrational behaviors. So like
Mm,
you're literally learning how to live in a day-to-day life with people around you. I can't prepare how people are going to treat me, but I can prepare how I'm going to live for myself. And a lot of times when you realize who you are for the day, you can actually remove yourself from things because you know and trust yourself. A lot of us don't trust ourselves, and visualization is a key to how we want to show up and how we want to pursue our authenticity.
mm,
That's the beauty of visualization. We don't visualize enough. We just try to just get through it. But then you recognize you were never who you were supposed to be.
right. Mm.
Yeah. So I love visualizations. I do it every morning, and I've gotten to a place where I do it for 5.5 minutes. And then on sometimes on the weekends, if I do have time, I might do 15 minutes. But I start out by listening to music first. Then
Yeah.
I listen to frequencies, and then I listen to acoustic, and then I go in. So I do a whole processing for mine. So
Yeah.
I've learned to cater it towards my lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I've been using sound bowls probably for about a year
Mm,
now. About
yeah.
a year now. Yeah, about a year now.
Mhm.
So when I say I'll be in that room, I'll be in that room.
I
And
love that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And when I first started with everything, I did my fasting. And I believe that's how I was able to really um, do a lot of work, a lot of downloads. Like I was open, like
Mm, yeah.
open. And I remember having a conversation with my sister, and
Mhm.
sis, she said, you've grown so much in less than a month time. She said, I just see a total like different, and she said, and when
Mm,
you're talking to me, and I've been in the room for about good 4 or 5 hours, and she was
yeah.
like, wow. But even my baby, he said, when you come out, I want to go in there too. I said, but you could come in there.
Mm.
You could come in
But that's what happens. I'm telling you, like healing people, they just they smell different. They feel different. They walk different. That their clothes look different. I don't know what it is, but like you can tell when someone's into their healing because it just leaves this resonance or this residual of opportunity,
Yeah.
and it's so alluring, and it doesn't feel like I want it. It's more like I want to be a part of that.
Heard of that. Yeah.
It's beautiful, and I'm so glad you said that because I have a colleague, and her name's Daphne Fuller, and she does she works at the Therapeutic Solutions and Wellness in North Carolina, and when she does a sound bowl, she did, I forget what frequency it was, but it made my heart. I started tearing up, and I was like, I'm like, what frequency was this? I was shocked, and I was like, Daphne, like what was that? Because there's obviously something I missed, even
Yeah.
in my own visit. I missed it in my visualization. So it's important to even heal with other people
Yes.
because you get to see more parts of yourself that you couldn't get unless they could help unlock you. So like
Yeah.
it's important to share space. Healed people help people. I'm telling you, when a healed person helps you, it unlocks you in so many ways.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah. I like that. We just been talking and talking and talking and talking, right? We done went
Oh yeah.
past our little time.
Oh my God. I didn't even see the little sign. Oh my God. Oh my
We
God.
have went past our little time. But you know what, Doctor? Well, it's always a pleasure to have when we do these shows together. We really do. And I am
Yes.
blessed that I have you at least for two times a week here on the Season of Self Love podcast. I don't know if we're gonna talk him into being here with me every day, but we gonna that's in
I
the
love it.
forefront.
Look, your visualizations is coming. I feel visualizations. I'm like, what is this? This is behind me. I was like,
You see it? I see the imprints
yeah,
all on the back of that wall over there. The
right,
light is lighting up.
right. Why my light flashing real quick?
I'm coming to you in your dreams, and I'm sitting there. You ready? You're like,
Right, you ready? I'm like again? I was like again. I love it.
but again, my beautiful people, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for continue to share this space with me. And I truly do appreciate every single one of you all. Literally. Again, share. If it's someone that you know that need to hear these things, and this is just not just one of the shows that we have. We have a number of different shows that we talk about every single thing that has to do with self-love, self-awareness, self-improvement, meditation, all of those things. And even we do have our own services. Like I talked about the guided meditation, and guided visualization. I do that as Dr. Will
Awesome.
do. So there's other things and other services that you can be able to do. Right here on my YouTube page, every Monday, I do Mindful Mondays to where I will do a guided 5-minute meditation, and I just pick out an affirmation or something like that, and I go from there. Feel whatever I feel that is needed at that moment of the time, that you can go on and listen and hear that. And my intention is to help you to get through the week with that. So my thing is healing.
Mm,
It really is. I
I
am
love it.
in my forever healing era. And as he said, with
Wow.
healing people can heal other people. And that man,
Mm,
y'all come on and get some of this healing, some of this spiritual high.
it's your time. It's your
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Some of this spiritual high. So I'll let the doctor say some closing words before he go. And then we're gonna close it out.
I'll keep it very simple. Purpose is the human compass. So be kind to yourself and heal always. ALL. Heal always.
I like that. He'll always. All right. So I want you all to remember that visualization is a potent tool. And it's in your self-love toolkit. It is capable to transform your dreams into a reality. And I'll leave you with this closing meditation or affirmation for you to focus on your visualization. I want to thank you for joining me today. And I don't forget. So I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to just allow the positive energy just to come through you. Just to come through you. I want you to envision yourself standing in front of a mirror. As this moment in time to do a self-awareness check. And as you just watching your whole entire body at this moment, at this time, I want you to see all the goodness of light just coming through your crown chakra, through your third eye, through your heart chakra, all the way down. Now, as you sit and you feel that coming in, I want you to imagine this rainbow light that is connected to the heaven and the earth and is using you as the connection of positivity, the connection of visualization to redirect your mind in a positive way, to understand, to use your story, whatever it is, to where you are able to see a positive perspective of it, that you are not afraid and you have the courage to be able to share your experience in life with someone else, that you are able to use those as tools of learning, but also to understand that stay in the moment. Have that moment, that day as a step. Today is a step. Whether you're crawling with that step or whether you're walking with that step. Let's not run anymore. Let's not run anymore. So as I lead you out, I'm sending love, prayers, and light to you always. So gently open up your eyes and stretch a little bit and say, hey, Naomi. But thank you.
Hey. 3 Ys.
All right, I want y'all to continue to explore the path of personal growth and self-love. Until next time, always keep it sexy. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright. And I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves. And always keep it sexy. Sending light, love, and prayers.